I can't move it until I see the details. That's where we are, and I certainly will consult with the province when NEC has had a chance to look at the proposal. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, our question times has left. Grievance debate. The Honourable Governor for West New Britain.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Harturu kisim opportunity to ask him question too, so meeting also question me convert him golo grievance debate. So, thank you, Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker, as you know, West New Britain is one of the economic hub for Papua New Guinea. Generates over 2 billion kina, in terms of our economic contribution to the national purse. And road, as everyone confirms, agrees that it's a lifeline for the development. Even for education, our health, our livelihood of our people, road becomes the lifeline. Deputy Speaker, mi okla harim plenty kind of some billions na botia me feel also helpless, but to raise it up. Mi harim loisi peak also 1.2 billion. Milan Bay and 1.97 billion kina. Now all these ones here, Mr. Deputy Speaker, while I thank and congratulate the Minister and the government for all these mega projects, I believe West New Britain truly deserves the support from national government as we contribute economically for the GDP of this great country. Deputy Speaker, Hoskins and Gateway Blow, West New Britain. Suppose you now come on Temila, Hoskins, Golo Kimbe, you by cross no go through. By Bampina, by showing also Mipla, also one play economic province where, and by reflecting this development or economic development inside West New Britain. Hoskins, Golo Kimbe, Hoskins, Golo Biala, also part of the New Britain Highway. One of the most important lifeline for West New Britain to East New Britain, Natulo country. 24/7 you got fruit trucks running. 24/7 you got oil tankers running. 24/7 all the logging trucks and people commute on this road. And this road, any investments on this road, the rate of investment is high, the rate of return is high. Within 5 years you can recover. Deputy Speaker, while I appreciate the government's initiative, I'll go to Arreblo, West New Britain, I'll try hard low, connecting West New Britain, I'll go to East New Britain. I'll award him some contract. Also, on month to claiming also chairman block connect PNG na. I'm busy lo this work, go around and talk also government appoint him chairman block connect PNG na I'm implementing this project. While this project, me say also government initiative na fund him. Of course, I'm not privy to or kisi many kind of update lo this project, but while I appreciate this 140 million kina, I am stop Arare lo West New Britain lo, close to lo river Pandi lo connecting East New Britain. Me too worry no good through lo this highway blow me New Britain highway, I'm start lo my junction, you go lo Biala algata, I'm road and Bagrap algata. I'm covering entire Nakanai district. This road, this is where all got this oil pump tankers na something by around lo picking fruit na oil na come lo refinery. Deputy Speaker, this I'm needing immediate attention. Assistant Speaker, for me play no say the TSSP by go na working or DOW by go working or tax credit by working, no got man working. Plenty time also, you may expect one organization la work, but by talk also TSSP by working, Narapla by talk this la DOW by working, but ultimately nobody has done anything. For last 5 years, there is nothing, improvement. While we support the new investments, people to worry lo this la maintenance lo this la road where by you mean need lo give him immediate attention. Deputy Speaker, Narapla, Assistant Speaker, Narapla Road to Hoskins Golo Kwaimumu. Close to also 30 villages stop. close to 20,000 people em stop lo disla hap. Salwara em katim disla road lo plenty hap na road em bagara palgata em thankfully Minister lo oil palm em raise on time Prime Minister give him some commitment lo support him. Disla road to em one important road where em save bring him oil palm lo factory. Likewise, Narapla road to em Talasia ring road where chairman blow PAC raise him up plenty time finish. Na Trongo em last disla late minister em yet come launch him em promise him contractor also em within a week em by carry 1.5 million I give him, but according to contractor em no kishim money so em no apply work. Em Talasia district to em also em 50% oil pump stop lo disla. Speaker, how people by contribute time this la one most important infrastructure blow this economic activity lo oil pump suppose Emino's threat how you me by supporting. Deputy Speaker 2025 you got 10 million kin appropriation to lo Kimbe go lo Kendrian to this la appropriation to lo 2025 me arim also lo treasurer also 3 million kin I'll release him. This la money to stop on time DOW. Algata man Mary lo province all work lo blaming me play lo work come up. That's all. Something em stop on time national agency. Na all supposed lo come na implement him this la work. Em to come up. Em Trongo all people blo me lo South Coast they were not connected to their own provincial capital and this is a long struggle. And also we call him also tunnel. Time car go na stuck inside lo this la hap car by digging na work him plenty kind tunnel by come lo this la route. A maintenance vital need for this road. Assistant Speaker, it's like our honest request and prayer that government by no good people cross lo mina like look save lo West New Britain mino save. Why you busy lo all got another province, but you ignore him one most important province where I'm contributing money through lo economic. In fact, I'm home blow oil palm. Oil palm blow Narapla province, I'm come behind the soul. West New Britain, I'm still headquarters blow oil palm. Now, Mipla look out him all got a man Mary blow Papua New Guinea inside West New Britain. You got Sea Peak, you got Highlands, you got Southern region people, all got a man Mary. Our people have practiced truly this unity in diversity for a very long time. And all these people brought into West New Britain in the name of economic development. Now, Mipla stop blow this social time bomb, where population blow this la. Now also all call him Sipik blow Sipik, all call him also West New Britain Sipik or West New Britain Southern Islands or West New Britain Chimbu. You play by looking time blow election how much plus Chimbu by sign up, how much plus Sipik by sign up. All got a man lo Papua New Guinea. You got fair opportunity lo this la. So we have a moral responsibility, Assistant Speaker. I'm grievance blow me na me talk lo this la. Government has got moral responsibility lo okay. And gone are the days, Assistant Speaker, me regret also 2015 former Prime Minister stop na mipla golo Indian na strike him one deal lo this la Indian Exim Bank. It's like a dream only. Emino come up through. This la 4-lane road lo Hoskins Hoskins come lo Kimbe. It's not even talking about Hoskins to Kimbe. It's starting from my junction to Kimbe, 20 kilometer. I am begging even 5 kilometer. Assistant Speaker, last year alone, people are witnessing 6 accident right in front of our general hospital, Kimbe Provincial Hospital. Just because this extreme traffic lo I blow this hospital. People need him at least 5 kilometer or 10 kilometer because I'm initiative lo government. Lo come up in 4-lane road. I'm next door neighbor blow me kiss him congratulations. Longol. Lo bring him 4-lane lo at least 10 kilometer approach ko lo provincial capital lo Olgata province. But this la before meeting also I'm luxury, but now meeting also this la immediate need. I'm through you need him this la 4-lane road. Start lo at least start lo Navio Junction where you got Mosa Oil Palm headquarters stop na come down lo Kimbe. I'm by easy traffic lo namail lo this la road. So I'm by allowing free flow blow traffic. Morning time you like 7 to 8 you like drive lo this la. I'm by hard through lo you drive because by got car I'm pull up. So through this like grievance debate, Assistant Speaker, through you, me like genuinely requesting government lo relook at or reviewing this law also one kind investment you can make him lo West New Britain lo straight him this la important road assets inside lo West New Britain for quite long we have been constantly ignored. Mino sabe, deliberate, work secretary Korosulami or work secretary like got narapla agenda or strategy, Mino sabe. But me like congratulate him, new works minister, promise him also, by bring him accountability, integrity, transparency, all got something low, when low, reset. So me genuinely feel, minister, please step in, review this whole, investments through department below you, see how you can work one time, bring him this development, Mr. Assistant Speaker, before opportunity below me finish, me too congratulate him, member-elect for Day Open, Honorable Keeper, Governor below New Ireland Province, Honorable Byron Chen. I congratulate on behalf of our people of West New Britain. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Assistant Speaker.
I would give this opportunity to member for Day Open.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. My grievance this morning is we just had a recent by-election in my district. As a result, I am here. However, my grievance is concerning how the election was conducted, especially when it came to the process of counting. There's a number of steps in the election process. One is the campaign, one is the writs are issued, followed by the nomination, and then campaign begins, and after the campaign, voting happens, and after the voting, the counting process happens, and it's completed by the declaration. Now, in our case, or in the by-election in my district, during the counting process, after the primary votes were counted, the quality check was conducted, and all the boxes in the district or in the electorate were admitted by the returning officer that was appointed by the acting electoral commissioner. And from experience as a lawyer myself and someone who has dealt with a lot of election petitions, I know the law that once the box, a ballot box, is put on the table, the counting center, inside the counting center, and it's admitted by the returning officer, or if it's rejected by the returning officer, if there's a complaint coming from the scrutineers of each candidate, then whatever the decision is the returning officer makes inside the counting center, that becomes the final decision. And only a court of disputed returns can undo the decision of the returning officer. Now, in my case, I had 2 ballot boxes that were from my local area, or 2 council wards that come from my area. They were set aside after the boxes were admitted into counting, and the scores were put on the tally box, and the quality check was done. At that point of time, I was leading the race, and when the 2 ballot boxes containing a total of 3,300 votes, when they were removed, I fell from leading the race to 4th position. Now, I wrote to the acting electoral commissioner saying, and the direction came from the acting electoral commissioner, directing the returning officer to undo the scrutiny process, which, as far as I know the law, Section 153A of the Organic Law on National and Local Level Government Elections, it says the returning officer has that power to admit or reject, not the acting electoral commissioner. And she exercised the powers under Section 19 of the Organic Law, saying that she has the overall direction and supervision of an election process. And this was the first time in the history of elections where the acting electoral commissioner stepped in to reverse the scrutiny process. In almost all cases, it has always been the courts who, after a declaration is made, the court has the power to either an order for the box to be admitted, if it's rejected, or if it's rejected, for it to be admitted and counted. Now that is the law. So my concern is if the acting electoral commissioner acts under using a discretion under Section 19 to say that she has the power, which I know the courts have, to say that she can undo the scrutiny process, what's the guarantee there that this won't happen to any other election? Now, by doing what she did, it now leaves everybody, or gives every candidate, and we have the national election 12 months away from now, it will give every candidate the opportunity to say that you don't have to go to courts anymore. You just have to go to the acting commissioner, and she can set aside those boxes, or she can admit those boxes. And I'm raising this concern because I know the elections are coming up. All of us here in this House will be going back for elections. And if this is how it's conducted, it's going to affect a lot of elections. The process should be that it should be the Court of Disputed Returns who should undo the scrutiny process, and not the acting electoral commissioner or the electoral commissioner. That's my DBI, that's my grievance I wish to raise in this Honourable House this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Member for Namatanai.
Thank you, Acting Speaker. My grievance debate lo side belong Golo Boundaries Commission. Question belong me been in line lo disalaw ting. But me like Dr. lo here today lo our team ting belong me where me feel also the Boundaries Commission is being very slow in its process to try and determine which electorates are going to be ready for 2027 national general election. Me concerned too also some long electorates where only big pla Tomas only meeting all criteria pinis also me one pla long all lo side na matanay. Me meeting all the requirement pinis lo Boundaries Commission lo qualify lo kisi one pla new pla electorate. Now, this electorate, we play Kolim, also Konos open electorate. Now, me meeting all the requirement pinis. The Boundaries Commission is Salim all officer pinis, he come down, long electorate. Only working all assessment pinis, long ground. Determining pinis also, yes, we play him qualify. We meet him all the requirement, all the criteria. That's all, time we play meet him, this submission, he go back. You go along Boundaries Commission, you know what one plus come back or one plus confirmation, he come up or say, are we in the process to kisim some like look sour or some new plus electorate or not? I also understand that in the last parliament, even got some list of new electorates that were approved or endorsed. Now, miharim too. Boundaries Commission 2 is inundated with requests for new electorates as well. That's actually not on the list. Now, concerned Lomito Solo some of the electorates like myself in the Matnai, where it's about 6,600 square kilometers. My DSIP money cannot effectively serve my people. And I know that many other electorates are in the same circumstance as me, where we're struggling to reach the population in the rural areas, using this funding where you make a similar national government. And that's why me strong behind him support the new electorate in Silo Matnai Open to try and bring government services a bit more effectively down lo area lo mipla lo place. We play too also in West New Britain. We play contribute law nation building too because we host one of the biggest gold mine in the world, here. We play by. We play contribute. Contribute plenty way. Not just one play way that's all where you pull him tight team long. So plenty long way employment opportunities. Plenty long way royalty you walk on. Okay? Now, mi play will contribute to the economy of Papua New Guinea, but you may feel also Namatnai is too large to try and accommodate the population within Namatnai, which is around close to 200,000 people, me calculating. So that's why me pushing this agenda hard no go through. That's why me writing all the past go on Boundaries Commission, na kissing Boundaries Commission's officers to come down on the ground, long qualifying this nuclear electorate, me play call him now Konos Open Electorate, come up one nuclear electorate, and then try to pursue it to make sure that it's on the list long 2027 national general election. Now, this is the list me work talk lang in past time. List where yes, it been approved, but me harimol sem the Boundaries Commission is in a position to try and now conduct a review. Another assessment long usat or narapla open electorate that could actually qualify because of the population density stop long all this electorate. Na me like saw it the solo sem through lo question lo miem to post Boundaries Commission can come out clear. Na talking me plus straight now only stop where? When is this list gonna come? Are we gonna review? And if it's gonna be reviewed, can Konos Open Electorate be one of those inclusion lo nuclear electorate to go inside long 2027 election general election is coming up. So I'm talk lo mito sol me tingol sa me play slow to mas lo processimo lisla. We need the departments and the officers within the department lo fast tracking this la. So me all get open members now who are pushing for a new electorate at least can understand position lo me play sit down where now long all line usati asking pinis. And then give us a feedback so we know exactly what we need to do lo this la time igo. Right now it's a bit of an unknown. It's creating a bit of frustration. Damlo lo place lo side lo mi lo Central New Island where the new electorate is proposed to take place. The people are getting frustrated, and this la frustration is spilling over along all narapla sectors too, factors too, where we're trying very hard to manage it. And I'm struggling at the moment to try and manage all these issues on the ground because it's too big, too large, and it's vast. Plani lo yumi milugo electorate blue plan ami mangalim no guturo. I wish I had some of our legal electorate, but some of you all members of parliament. I got 6 LLGs, 4 of which I need to travel by boat to get to. So I'm struggling no good through. Now in addition to this too, me like strong him too, works minister too, this talk me too, connect PNG and one good plan initiative. You can. But you mean not put him to connect PNG lo maritime provinces too. So instead of straight him road, you mean straight me sample ferry no boat na at least you mean try na lose him this la or banana boat where we losing or life too much lo solwara yeah. Can we start looking at those maritime provinces with a decent sized vessel that can accommodate safely all people will meet time only commute go come. Our outer islands require government services. And the only way that they reach government services if they got to travel. And somebody needs to travel 4 or 5 hours just to get into town. Look, it's in basic services, that's all. So me like looking at some connect PNG, a little bit more holistic in terms of considering maritime provinces that we don't have road access, but you may got saltwater access problem. So you may not look long, buy him some long all this boat too, or help him you me, no gonna come. Now, me believe also planning all members in the same circumstance are happy to go kina for kina or try to help him too, or this side. Or say I'm willing to do from the Namatnai district standpoint. You can support him. So I'm legally talk to solve me like put him down the floor, long consideration blame me. If there's areas that we need to fine tune, please Electoral Boundaries Commission, can we step up? If there's going to be a review, announce him review. Me like him, you lo edim Konos Open, you go inside Longen, 2027 election, antap Longen, maritime provinces, please. You me try to look on some little vessels, because where Connect PNG is not really connecting us on that side, but a vessel will really complement Connect PNG holistically. Thank you.
Honourable Member for Northwest. Northeast.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. Melek Tok lo connect PNG. Number one, Melek Tok, thank you, lo Nubla Minister. Very energetic. Now, Mibla Sawe you will move further within that 14 months left long. Today, you may Papua New Guinea, you may start 51 years now. Another 50 years, Narbla chapter, you may start it. And we have been called by international community as a beautiful country with a lot of resources. Now, Pacific 2 also, hey, Papua New Guinea and one blah, halfway, organ a month of pining, organ something. Now, you mean I must do. Tassel when connect PNG, you come inside. Plenty Facebook, plenty WhatsApp. A lot of criticism. I would like to thank Marabe and Rosso government. Even me yet, Pangu doesn't mean no boss to me yet. We have to thank you to one of my due long end. You must talk thank you. I think the whole 90% of Papua New Guinea now watching the TV stuff. Hey, all by talk, hey, how member must be noticed here? Why is talking about connect PNG? Because city and Molgata something. But I have to say this one and tell the 90% population of the country, you mean. Now all talk, hey, all Panguya, all carry money, a lot of Facebook talk, all carry wallet, all carry money. Now connect PNG is spending plenty of resources and something. But members of parliament, with due respect, I'm 51 years now, we have to do it. And I thank this government because who else is going to do it? Government, he come na go. Prime Minister, he come na go. And then people talk, hey, rich country. Everybody is saying rich, but who is going to connect the rest of our population? All in is all look at car before. And all like some noodles, na tin piece also walk about. Silly. Just for instance, example, Goilala. Just going down the creek, now you go up, you will spend one day. Because what we save. But you what you go down another half day. And you what you go up, Narbla half day. Also, this connect PNG is helping a lot of population at the rural areas. So you mean I can go to Facebook, na bakaram this la government, na talk, leave it, talk, we go come. Who else is going to do it? Who are you going to do it? Or we say to come Prime Minister tomorrow by walking? Of course we know our cash flow is down. Not planning money going to connect PNG. Yes, you are correct. But we are a developing country. Gold Kobai come yet. Oil workers shoot out, look at how come yet. The resources are still going to come up, but only accessibility is by road. Of course, Member Blodamatanai talk. And Minister for WATCH, take note of that. We are talking about land. We have got to see too. And then we got air too. So Minister of Civil Aviation, take note of that, all the airstrips. And then Solwara said, look at him. Minister, you look at him, you must also, because every time you are in line blowing miss Solwara. Only they come back, 3 days. And then you are in helicopter after, hey, Solwara big blows in, how are you going to find the remaining bones? So you must also balance him. When you connect PNG by road, by air, by sea, then you will balance the rural community. Now, me like talk, thank you, opposition leader, Yomba. Time you go to balance me look him. Suawaya karnas tasol white. Come on, you already started. Also, Karim, go copy back to the White House, White House. No, now the White House is gone. The Karnas White House, the cars run smooth through Goloswawe. Let's connect PNG. Let's not criticize each other because you all need roads. House go down Marsin by you Karim Nagoa. School down go down by material by you Karim Nagoa Goa. And by road, that's all. Road is accessibility of our community. Road is accessibility of our community, commodities, coffee, cobra. Hey, all I know, place you go in garden, kago after kago, cabbage after cabbage, carrot after carrot. You looking more by Karim Nego. This road is a way forward to boost our economy. So me here looking planning criticism on Facebook, now WhatsApp now. I think it's about time. Remember must be why I'm talking to him. I got more population. My electorate is over 500,000. It's like another province. And now CDM billion, 1 million plus now. But another question is, we work for 2 years with my governor. We connect PNG, I come to Hikorin, I come to Kerman, I come to Mosby. Law and order. Where's the security in Mosby? Before we connect down to Port Moresby City. Police Minister, you must also take note of that. Midla Governor, work location, reserve police, spending so much money on reserve. So time will connect him, Kigori, come down, Lohia, Lokerama. Mimla must empower police of city. Yesterday he talked about gender-based not only marry one side that's all. But security law of city you must maintain it. So you may connect him, PNG come down, yes. But this is where everything started. Policeman power, reserve police, Lost city must, you may boast him go down. Even we plan to national government budget long. Road long, of course. You plan GST, na mi plan governor work like ECC, mi plan work like Yusum, na work like sensitive city staff. I'm good plan. But to end, we talk thank you, Lord Isla government, to give the light to our people in the rural areas. Now they can see the noodles, tin piece, only looking car, only come buy kerosene go, so big go, low area blow, na place where only looking long and all looking. So, me like if you balancing one them air by sea, so that we see the all parts of the country must benefit through Lodisla Connect PNG. Thank you.
Just give me this way. Minister, Intergovernmental Relations.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. My contribution today to grievances debate is related to Oil and Gas Act, particularly as it references Section 47 and 48. These sections refers to social mapping and landowner identification studies, as well as it also contributes to ministerial determination insofar as the project's benefits are concerned. Let me first of all, thank our government for recently announcing the venue for the development forum, which is to be held partially in Kerema town, basically to launch the discussion and then do the negotiation in secure location in Port Moresby. And I want to thank our government for clearing this issue that has been bothering our people for some time. But at the same time, secondly, let me thank our government for working very hard to fast-track this very important project that will contribute to the development of our country and changing the lifestyles of our people. When the announcement was made, it sent two signals. One is that of excitement, and people looking forward towards benefit that will be derived from this very important project. But at the same time, it sent negative signals, signal that perhaps created anger, frustration, animosity, and this has been one of the reasons why I want to present to this Honorable House what needs to be done, or we need to take note of some of the concerns that I want to raise here. Since last year, I've been hearing, or I've been consulting my people, particularly in relation to the issues of landowners who are included in the SMLI report and who have been left out. And I found that nearly 80% of what is known as traditional landowners, by virtue of their cultural and historical rights, have been left out. And about 20% of our people have been included. And they're the ones who are very excited, and they'll be marching to the banks in terms of benefit sharing when the benefits are given into the future, as long as the project exists to provide for our country as well as our people. And this lies the concern. The concern is that SMLI report has created this problem for our people. And I want to suggest here that Minister Petroleum, I want to thank you for your leadership and what you have been doing, talking to our developers in Paris and Singapore in trying to fast-track this important project, given, well, conflicts that are apparent that may interfere with this very important project. But I ask and I appeal that there should be some amendments made in oil and gas that caters for those people who have cultural and historical right to project site. Since last year, I've been talking to our people both in Port Moresby and back home. And I have found that 9 tribes of Baimuru, LLG, have been completely left out. And on the 3rd of this month, I was in Poroi, PDO 15. And I found that of the 149 clans, only 9 were included. And these are people whose villages are living around the PDL 15 area. And this is very serious. The good thing is that they understood what I was there for, basically looking at this issue so that I can find some ways of including my people, people who should be benefiting from this important project. And therefore, their discussion basically was to do with their own concerns that they're landowners, but by virtue of social mapping, they've been left out. What are we going to do about it? That was the issue that raised. Similarly, I have had discussion last week with my people as well, and I still have ongoing discussion and dialogue with people who are left out in Ihu East and Ihu West. About 3 major tribes have been left out. Okay, we can look at the definition of Section 47 and do nothing about it. But this is, I guess this law has been done, okay, it's 1998 Oil and Gas Act, but been amended in 2020. But it reflects nothing about Papua New Guinean cultural and historical rights. It separates and demarcates our people from having these rights. We need to make those amendments to reflect that if people are left out because of a narrow definition of Section 47 and 48, we need to look at cultural and historical rights of these people in order to protect the project. Right now, there's ill feelings, not only in Port Moresby, but also back in the village. So what I've been doing in the last few months is basically to try and talk to the people and assure them that our government has not forgotten them. We need to look at alternative pathway to addressing this issue. I don't wish to see the next 30 or 40 years, if I'm allowed to live that long, that there is anger and frustration still going on. And similarly, by way of protecting this very important project into the future, we need to do something about it as a government. And I want to thank Prime Minister, particularly being open-minded about it. After returning, I sent 2 reports, basically raising this issue. And I believe that our minister will take into consideration my concerns. In that way, our people's interests are accommodated and protecting this important project. Let me talk about this social mapping. There is always what is known in science as peer review. Whether it's a biological science, social science, medical sciences. This is where another person of the same training looks at your work and then make its comments. So it can be a public document thereafter. I requested this particular document in 2013 to have a review of it because my training is in anthropology. In my professional life, I spend all my time doing exactly that work. Salvage research, archaeological research, social mapping. I was not given the opportunity to look at that report. Had I been given a report, I would have made some serious remarks and adjustments in order to protect not only the project, but also ensuring that our people benefit from what is rightfully theirs. Into the future, we must make amendments to legislations. Legislations are not written in stones. We must make those adjustments so that our people can benefit. Legislation already we know are basically historical and colonial documents. So we need to make those adjustments. I pray and hope that our government will take into consideration what I'm talking about in the interest, not only of the people, but to protect the project into the future. Thank you.
I will give this opportunity to the new governor for the Island Province elect. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Speaker. I do share the same concern as the Honourable Member for Namatanai on the new electorates for Konos Open and New Island missing out on the Connect PNG programs. But today, I'd like to make my maiden speech. Honourable Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, Honourable Opposition Leaders, Deputy Opposition Leader, Ministers, Governors, Members of Parliament. I am very privileged again to be elected to this Honourable House, but this time representing the people of New Ireland, Bilas Place, as the Regional Member, Governor and Chairman of the New Ireland Provincial Assembly. It is certain now that through this by-election that I am here as the Regional Member, Governor and Chairman of the New Ireland Assembly, endorsed by the Electoral Commission, sworn in this Honourable House by the Honourable Speaker of Parliament, acknowledged further and endorsed by the Ombudsman Commission, and promptly advised by the Minister for Provincial Government and Local Level Government, Minister Sorry, to be sworn in and administered by the Provincial Administrator. All this was done in good faith and in accordance with the statutory government and laws. Honourable Acting Speaker, with deepest and most sincere respect for our judiciary and professional courts, we now find relief, and now the people of New Ireland have earned back their respect, rights and privileges. This is not the New Ireland way, or Passin New Ireland, what we went through. Now, me like talking more people belong New Ireland and PNG, that I sit here on this side of Parliament just as my father did after 2022 elections, supporting the Honourable Prime Minister Marape and his Pangu party, not only once but twice, supporting you, Prime Minister, in your leadership, in your commitments to our country and New Ireland. From launching the New Ireland International Airport, Caving Airport, and our proposed Caving Wharf, and continuous sealing of the Bulumiski Highway. Yes, Mr. Speaker, there was a fallout when the late Governor, Sir Julius, crossed the floor to the opposition, but this was not due to the Prime Minister's leadership, but because he was stripped from his own royalties by our local members who compromised to reduce also the provincial budget. But that matter now has been resolved. New Ireland provincial royalties belong to the provincial government, and I have just been recently reassured that we'll be reimbursed for the 40 million that was taken away. Mr. Speaker, Acting Speaker, by God's grace and mercy, an association transpired from the member of Caving and the Treasurer, Honourable Ian Ling Starkey, and the Pangu Party New Ireland to accept me as the regional candidate, fully endorsed by People's Progress Party, New Ireland, and PNG. I stood unopposed. Mr. Acting Speaker, Pangu Party and PPP alliance was done in the beginning, back in 1968 to 75, from 75 to 82, in the infancy of independence. We maintained our relationship again in 2002 to 2007, 2007 to 12, 2017 to 22, and now today. I'm here just as a PPP member, but not just as a PPP member, but with the full support of the member for Caving, Treasurer, Honourable Ian Ling Starkey, and the Pangu Party, New Ireland. Mr. Speaker, I would also like to give special thanks to the Honourable Douglas Tomarcia, member for Kiruna Goodenough, for his stern leadership as our leader of PPP. Mr. Speaker, there was a clear vacancy in the regional seat for New Ireland in Parliament, and also for the People's Progress Party. For almost 3 months, our party supporters nationwide and former leaders, former members of parties, parliaments, deputy prime ministers,
who all came through PPP and endorsed by Sir Julius himself, including secretaries of departments and ambassadors. We were all left in suspense, in the clouds for 3 months, before the honourable member for Kirina-Gundenaf came our way. Through an agreement he made with the late Grand Chief, Sir Julius himself, in the corridors of this House during Parliament session. Honourable Douglas, on behalf of my family, siblings, and Lady Stella, the PPP executives of PNG and New Ireland, and supporters nationwide, especially all party supporters of New Ireland, the birthplace of PPP, I thank you sincerely for keeping the party alive in this honourable House. After 55 years, we still exist, unshaken, unbroken, and under your leadership, with the partnership of this coalition partners, I see a great future ahead. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to take this opportunity to officially thank the Honourable Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, Treasurer, and the government and state ministers for their foresight and vision and nationalistic and patriotism by putting politics aside and putting the face of Grand Chief Sir Julius on 100 Kina. This is a significant milestone to honour the man that we know as Papa for Keenan and Toya. My brother was born on the same day Sir Julius was introducing the currency on the floor of Parliament, the old House of Assembly, in April 1975. His brother from the Highlands region, Sir Yano Bello, also shares that part of history and history with his son being named Kina. Honourable Prime Minister, definitely you're an honourable man with the respect you have shown to us all towards the pioneering leaders and founding fathers, and may they rest in peace. And I thank you, Prime Minister, and may God bless you and Papua New Guinea, all the New Islanders, the member for Kavieng and Treasurer, all constitutional heads and judiciary, for the privilege of being here in this honourable House, again, my 4th time, but as the Governor of New Ireland. Thank you.
Member for Samarai Murua.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker, for giving me time to contribute to this grievance debate. Before me make him talk with me, I'd like to take this floor and congratulate our leader man who said he come join him this House. First and foremost, the Governor along New Ireland, congratulations upon your elevation. And good he come along people along New Ireland, family below you. 2, Honourable Keeper, member belong day. We congratulate you long elevation below you. One time more people below you long day. Only mark him you come inside, represent him. Mouse belong all inside this house. We got a couple of grievances that I'd like to raise at this time. And I thank you, Assistant Speaker, for giving me this time. Over the past few years, Office below me been work one time, all technical team below me, one time some of stakeholders. We plus sit down and look, try and understand the issue below me in Salo district. And we have realized a couple of pressing issues, very important issues. Below district, but at the same time it has also important too long national or nation building. And out of that, we plan making plenty something. But inside of this plan, all plenty all issues when we plan look long and one them ground, 2 or resources where we play got, and that is one mining, napla long saltwater, long fishing, napla two we play look long Jomat Passage, an opportunity that we have for a deep sea port. So we play sit down and look this plan. We play go back past time long ground. Now ground and present issue because there is already an existing challenge, especially long woodlock. Long woodlock, you may get a that over 80 or 90% of the land is under state lease. But right now, triple portions long ground, we start running the foreign company. And because long Supreme Court, this is a foreign company, and all of them is state leases. Big C, more technical officers from me go down, and we did an extensive survey, and we had a report. And that report is now before, I missed up one time, Lands Department. And I thank the Lands Minister. He has been very cooperative, one time Secretary, to address the issue that we have raised. But there is you got blockage inside the system of Lands Department, where the issue that people are raising and we're going to stuck. But people don't go stop na wait up. Then people look up la way long, try to address this issue. So during my time, people appointed one lands officer come to district to take on the responsibility along land mobilization. So we went back again to woodlock. But this time, people focused on Guasopa. We focused on Guasopa. So I said, give me look at Guasopa past time, so we take it on a piecemeal base. So we made applications. We go in Salo government, the Lands Department, to help us to acquire. Just in process, location certification for those leases. And today I'm grateful that Lands Department will give me this application. I'll give him the certificate. Now certificate, and we granting me to go into the feasibility study. Yeah. And we engaged both provincial lands office, one time lands officer below me, they did survey, cadastral survey. We'll go inside looking physical planning, not doing cadastral survey. So I think this process will go in, and eventually, all these plow leases by permanent or DDA. People like DDA by Kisim. So DDA can sit down one time on people, woodlock, and DDA can sit down one time on investors, look survey how best we can develop, people can develop in this hub. Biar me talk again on this ecotourism, instead of grievance debate with me. But lands, issue ground, we already started. So DDA below me put in money go inside to invest, mobilize in ground. So we have done the survey along woodlock. Now people come holding Missima. Why Missima? Because mine by come. So the approach when we put him on woodlock, we can put him on Missima. We like him over state list by come underneath the DDA. Now you start investor, you come and sell up, you must sublease. Sublease him. You know, you talk about extreme lease. We have learned from what Missima mine did to us. Or develop Oxim state lease. Oxim state lease, we're going to build a like long all. After mining we finished, they ripped up everything. All making a like long all. They stripped everything that they built, now selling. So I said, this will never be repeated again. So now we talk, no, got me plus by state lease, and then me plus sublease. DDA by sublease, you go to investor. Now time me plus sublease, you go to investor. You build according to our plan and our program for the district. Now blow people, blow Samurai Muruan. So that's exactly what is happening now. Me plus Penisim, blow woodlock. Now me plus come volume, blow Missima. And now they're doing exactly what we have done in woodlock. There is a need for collaboration between the district, the province, and also the national departments in lands. All of them must work one time. Yeah? The purpose is the same. And one task is to hold the ground, protect the ground, and hold him for people. Even not can give him ground, nothing. Suppose you go to another country, or leases, or ground, or not give him nothing. They protect the land, or hold him ground, yeah. Or not give him nothing. They can sublease, or you can rent him, but never to own it. Never to own it. So you may not can repeat this law here. We need to change those laws. We need to protect our land because the land is our people. And ground people. So this law, you must look strong long and protect them all the ground, especially state leases. And I say, you haven't finished all customary land too. Or customary land too, you may not can sell him too. You may not can sell him customary land. We must protect it. No can give him nothing. We thank him, Chairman, long Parliamentary Committee go pass long customary land. Whatever I may give him, you must support him. You must support him. And block around. Me like talk again long mining. In Salo District, we host a number of ELs, exploration licenses. Rossell Island you got, Sudest Island you got, Missima Miply got, you got Woodlock and me call him a couple of ELs plus 1 ML. And then we have one EL long, half long Basilaki, Ikam lo Sidea, Ikam Mogeta long Loani. But this EL, lo Basilaki, and we cover him too, Solwara. Island want them Solwara mix him. I don't know, Sati grant him this a year ago. Why now put him go and sell Solwara too? We need to investigate it further now. Suppose EL is stop yet, you may cancel him. Everyone can stop in sell Solwara. You put him on top of the ground tassel. No can give him sell Solwara. Why not me grant him this a year one time Solwara ego? Who should approve him? Why has that occurred? We need to go back. You go along all line, Usati, look out in this plan. You need to go back to MRA. Usat technical all line, approve this plan, one of Solwara. You may not can give him. Me plan all island, yeah. Our livelihood is in the sea, not on the land. So we need to investigate that further now. We need to cancel that, correct it. But let us go back to the ELs. There is great concern when we look at ELs. I saw in Missima, Kingston held the EL. All holy me go until recently, this are EL, you may give him octet in mind. Company blew him yet. But that EL was held for a long time. Why?
Honorable Member, your time is up. You may conclude your grievance debate, please.
Thank you. But let me make it short. Let me also ELs, you're not going to give him nothing. Only when you got money. You look low, balance sheet blow you. Suppose you got money, you may give him yearly goal you so you can develop it. Suppose no got, don't take it and warehouse it. Then you hold him, and eventually you use that as a portfolio to raise revenue blow you now area, especially Australia, stock exchange, so that you can fund your project in Australia and not in EL where you see him. You may not can make him this one. Look good long. Me now raise him long Woodlock. Woodlock all see me here, stop you go now give him more ML, go now. All no make him one mining. Why give them that ML? Stop him now. You must stop him. We correct this using our laws. Suppose all him for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, how much time all renew, law ML, stop it now. Cancel him, they mix him. Cancel him, they mix him.
Thank you.
Me got district mining company blow me, buy me apply. Buy me apply, now mix him over a year, now ML, now me at me mine.
Thank you, Member.
Thank you. I think that's all. Thank you.
Honorable Governor for NCD.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. Give me opportunity to contribute long grievance debate.
Me got two grievances na me by try and balance him 5 minutes each or something else. But them long pla all talk yeah by Miss Kelly. Assistant Speaker and members of Parliament. Number one grievance is about this agenda long since we come to Parliament. It's a right agenda needs to be advocated. Rural agenda. Mr. Assistant Speaker, you member of Bogian, me respect him you. Olga member along rural areas too, you may respect him, you plan. This narrative that 80% of our people live in the rural areas is very important. We must maintain it. But grievances Blomina, I think all member Blomipla along urban centers, and me blouse neglected for how many years now? Nearly the good part of the 50 years. Me blouse them taken for granted, or you may just ignoring that's all. Now me like just take advantage of this opportunity to raise the urban agenda. Mr. Speaker, and honorable members, Mount Again is important to all of Western Islands and the Upper Islands region. Ley too is very important to Morobe and Momase and Papua New Guinea too. It's a center point, you mean crisscross Goikam. Likewise, Kokopo, na Goroka too, very important urban center. Here, mostly it's our capital. You play Kainkai Navy, stop you play Kainkai up, you play stop longen, you play Kamna, stop good lawyer, family stop good lawyer, you play invest lawyer, working business lawyer. We try to make the environment, safety and security good so that all your interests, family play can stop good, and then you play can go back, develop in rural areas, district, and the entire provinces. So, Mipla line long urban centers, Mipla Philimon sometimes you mean neglecting, you mean equal attention in come long all urban areas. Maybe Port Moresby, you looking Mipla got big GST na. Then some of the time government help him, you mean so you may get this loop side thing or some Port Moresby maybe MXIM, so it's probably to the at the expense of other urban centers. So, but urban centers, Mr. Assistant Speaker, it's very critical to overall development. Government using down the urban centers here. All the corporates also send down the urban centers here. All church too all establish urban centers here. All the NGOs too establish urban centers. From the urban centers, you may go out and build them or provide service and open up the rural areas, the goods and services, market open up. So we are equally critical to national development. So it's about time to, you may thinking strong long, balance him, balance him, this narrative, thinking long, urban agenda too. Yes, rural agenda is important. 80% of our people live there. And this is a national challenge, Yumi too. Mr. Assistant Speaker and members of Parliament. The global trend, goals, by 2050, nearly 70% of the people of the world will be urbanized. Papua New Guinea, we are exceptional yet. About 80% or maybe you play line blue milo rural electorate, so you play advocate yet though some 90% or something or something. And if that is the case, then Assistant Speaker and members of Parliament, Prime Minister, you must make him one goal. We must set a goal to say that we must maintain this equation, that we are going to defy the global trend and keep 90% of our people or 80% in the rural areas. And we must develop the strategy to make that happen. It could be part of the reset for the next 50 years. If we don't come up with the strategy, the global trend here, I'm hard here. Mr. Assistant Speaker, even big, strong countries, there I say like, all got strong law. Like China, almost stopping the rural urban migration. Now all people pull up along big cities like Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou. Shenzhen used to be a small town or small city about 30,000 people about 30 years ago. Now it's about 20 million people. Population come where? From the rural areas. So this is something that me like raising for us to think about seriously. Think about, you know, balancing the two agenda, the rural agenda and the urban agenda. You mean like helping all rural people, you mean most of the people live there? Please, Mr. Speaker and members of parliament, not at the expense of the urban centers, because urban centers, we are equally important. We must be given some attention and agenda, you know, support too. All towns blow you must look out them all too. The infrastructure and needs blow you mean urban centers. Increasingly population will come. Hey, people are facing challenge every time here. Infrastructure challenges, services challenges, creating housing, providing opportunity. It never ends. It never ends. We are challenged every time. Rural areas, I think you play open members staff now. Some play you play can go now. Online you mean place. All got house long all got wara staff, all got garden staff, all got pig staff. So all stuff good here. Now people along rural areas, urban centers, people who come now, all got garden now. All by look at the kagaruk na pig all no got here. So they have to survive on cash economy. And we have, all no got house. So we have to think about housing for them and provide health and education. Picking population go big plan. We are under pressure all the time. So me like highlighting this so that this national narrative that 80% of our people live in the rural areas, you can keep him. Me no against him. Me plan urban centers, me plan no against him. But me plan like him legally or him. You balance him legally. So that we think about the urban centers, their critical role in, you know, national development and in providing, you know, opportunities for our people, service for our people. It's very important for all of us. In the world now, you look Australia. If you look at Australia, it's about 80% urbanized. If you look at our neighbors like Philippines, Mr. Assistant Speaker, there are 3 cities that define that country. Manila, Cebu, and Davao City in Mindanao, down south. Everything rotates around the 3 cities. All the development, the information, the market, the services. That's the significance of urban centers. So we like, you know, take advantage of this grievance debate to highlight that. So me like give me, you know, take into consideration national planning, national development, resetting, narrative you meet too low here. But my brother here from when I'm in Western Britain, talk all the time, Hoskins, when I'm in Kimbe, that's very important to urban centers in his province. Imagine if, you know, Kimbe, collapse, Hoskins, volcano, Pirap, Ipasimo. How will they function, this province of ours, Western Britain, looking after Papua New Guinea and contributing to national economy? So, must be, for example, Mr. Assistant Speaker, yeah, people no got cocoa or coffee or cacao, or people no got fish or timber, or no got gold, copper, oil too, but we still contribute nearly about 1/3 of the national economy come to Port Moresby through the different, you know, business, you know, sector, or especially hospitality, service industry, accommodation or some real estate. We can contribute to national GDP too. If we build more houses to accommodate more people, housing, you know, price goes up and down, we can also contribute to stimulating the economy. People are thinking long, mining, fishing, kind of thing. But the urban centers, if we invest in the urban centers, we can also contribute to the, you know, stimulating and growing the national economy. So, me like advance in this slide, you can look somewhere long enough. Then, Mr. Assistant Speaker, on the 26th, 24th and 26th of this month, we will be hosting for the first time the Pacific Urban Forum. It's a forum that takes place regionally, but also globally too. It's a prelude to the
World Urban Forum in Baku in Azerbaijan. This is a forum that all the cities around the world, they come and contribute ideas and share, experience and try to build cities to be better, sort of a, livable city, contributing to national economy, contributing to national development. So it's an opportunity for me to host this urban forum, and we hope to, after that, have a national urban forum. So all the open member long Makimo urban centers, we will be inviting you all to come. So Deputy Prime Minister, Member Blue Lay, Member Blue Yumi Hagen, Minister, Member Blue Yumi Blow Kevian, Treasurer, all the member for Goroka, Member Blue Kokopo. We come and have this conversation with our Pacific counterparts, and then after that, Mr. Speaker, we should have a national urban forum where people do cities, the 4 cities of the country, plus all the towns, second-level town. Goroka is
Governor,
growing.
your grievance debate time is up.
Second
You may
half,
conclude your debate.
so. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
Time, yeah, you grow.
Honorable Leader of the Opposition and Member for Chuave.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. My short contribution to grievance debate this morning. Just on the Connect PNG contracts that have been published and awarded by the government. We've announced for ECIPIC and we've also announced for Millen Bay. I'd like the government to really remind themselves about the promise that the good Prime Minister and the government made to the people of Simbu with respect to Karamui. And please announce next week that you've announced billion kina contracts here for ECIPIC and Karamui and Millen Bay. And we'd like to know how much you'll be allocating for Karamui to once and for all open up Karamui to Papua New Guinea, so it's no longer geographically delimited, and the people of Karamui can have access and effectively contribute to growing the Papua New Guinean economy. That's one, Assistant Speaker. Secondly, just on the opposition's role to keep, to enforce accountability and government scrutiny. Last year we've written to all the ministers of cabinet asking them on how the 2025 budget was spent as part of the ESON framework. And Assistant Speaker, it has just been shocking to see that of all the hard-working ministers of cabinet, that only one minister, the Honourable Anopala, the Minister for Department of National Planning and Monitoring, Sir Anopala, was the only one that responded with respect to MTDP, Vision 2050, and 2025 appropriations. Now, this is just an absolute shock, Assistant Speaker. If this is the level of transparency, good governance, and accountability that ministers of cabinet are applying when scrutinized by the opposition. So it's really important, Assistant Speaker, that the country is fully aware, for example, of how much it cost to run the census, although you've said it before, but how much you received and how much you spent. It's important for the country to know how much exactly the Minister for Agriculture received and how he spent this money to promote the agricultural sector, to boost employment, to address youth bulge issues. It's really important for the country to know how much the Minister for Correctional Services received to improve the state of our prisons in the country, and so on and so forth. Now, to date, we're in the opposition, we're all in the dark, because you ministers of state, you ministers of cabinet seem to be beyond reproach. You don't want to respond. You don't want to come to Parliament and tell the country how much money you've received, public money, Assistant Speaker, public money, money that belongs to the people of Papua New Guinea, and how you've used this money to impact MTDP 4 and Vision 2050. So, Prime Minister, it's on record. We've put follow-ups, and now it's also with the Chief Secretary. If you could, all these ministers, all these hard-working ministers, Assistant Speaker, if they could just tell the country how much they received in 2025, what they did with the money, and how we can gauge their performance. Thank you, Assistant Speaker.
It's grievance debate.
What's your point of order, Minister?
With respect to the opposition leader, there are criteria that we follow. We don't report the opposition leader. The government agencies, government bodies, we report to. We don't report to the opposition leader. Thank you very much.
Minister, your point of order is out of order. This is a grievance debate, and the opposition leader has all the right to lay out his grievances on the floor of Parliament. Minister for Works and Highways.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. Lo give me little time to long contribute long grievance debate today. Assistant Speaker, grievance debate below me. This would be my first grievance debate that me putting me come long floor since me come up regional member of Bougainville. Na me like kisim this opportunity long talk click long walk about Bougainville. Assistant Speaker, last two days or inside of this week, some important agendas have been come inside the house. You may give him big look save long all mama, now all daughters bla you me, our women of PNG, and I want to acknowledge our leaders, our three leaders, Minister Cassius Sawong, Member Blomilo North Bougainville, Mama Franco, Honorable Francisco Samoso, and Governor Blomilo Central, Honorable Rufina Pita, all Mama and all Mary, all representing the greater Papua New Guinea women. At the same time, too, me simili opportunity lo talk thank you lo Mama Blomi. Mama Blomi and Blom Popondeta. She turned 80, April. She has the hindsight of the past, and so I am grounded in her wisdom. So me talk thank you na Olgata Mama Blomi lo Bougainville. Assistant Speaker, liklik contribution Blomi Amolsem. The women of Bougainville, since the civil unrest, may have been the most disadvantaged women since Yumi gained independence, Yumi, because only been losing almost 12 years of their lives, constantly running, looking for shelter, and having uncertainty if they were to live or to die. They were also burdened by the trauma of having their husbands, their brothers caught in the conflict. And so the trauma was horrendous. Now these women birthed young men and women back then. And whilst they went through their lives, 20 years later, those young men and women have now become parents also. And so we've lost a generation of proper family homes. And the trauma is deep with our young men and women of Bougainville. But having recognized the women of Bougainville and the females and the children that went through the trauma, I must also highlight that even the soldiers, the defense force that were sent to Bougainville at the early age, some were 19, Some just got married. They also left their wives, the young family behind. So the trauma is not necessarily just on Bougainville. It is also deep in our defense force. There has not been proper counseling of our families on both sides. And so, President Speaker, I ask the wisdom of this House that whilst two governments have come towards the pointy end of our peace agreement, which speaks of the referendum result coming to the floor of Parliament, we have a moral obligation to look at those families that have been traumatized still today. And I did echo to our good Prime Minister and to our caucus, and I ask the same to our opposite, that whilst we acknowledged our women of Bougainville, I ask that the government also give recognition to the children in terms of providing an opportunity, a quota for our young men and women to be institutionalized into our institutions, into our higher educations. Give them a portion so that they'll be properly placed into our universities, our technical colleges. It's the least we can do to appreciate our women, our mothers, and the children that have lost a good part of their growing up in their lives. And whilst we look at our children and our mothers of Bougainville, I also ask that our government look at the families of soldiers also in PNG. This is a collaborative approach towards real reconciliation, deep reconciliation. And at the year of reset, this must set a foundation for both Bougainville and Papua New Guinea in what was a significant point of event that changed the trajectory of this country. And I again want to echo and appreciate our Chairman for Customary Lands Committee. The issue that started the civil unrest, at the core of it was the identity of an indigenous person to his or her own land. The unfair treatment of the colonialism, the system and structure which was not favorable to the indigenous person, that has caused Bougainville to uprise, and we saw the civil unrest in Bougainville. And so at this time of reset, whilst we look back onto the past, we look at what is before us, and we have an opportunity to at least write a better future for both Bougainville and Papua New Guinea. Whatever will become into the future, we will continue to be genetically entwined in PNG, geographically positioned forever until Big Maniata may come back. It is the system that Bougainville have spoken of that has been unfair to them. And as I said earlier, it was the agenda of land and identity. And I am so pleased that the chairman in this reform is now giving an opportunity for us to take full ownership to what was already ours. It was not terra nullius. It was already ours. And it is what was given rightly to us. And this forum of leaders today, in this year of reset, I want to appreciate both sides. And this government also has been very fair. We may have policy differences, but when we have a common agenda, we are equal. And it is also refreshing to see that there are healthy arguments We must have healthy arguments. As I said earlier, because it is the people that we must serve and do better. So at this juncture, Assistant Speaker, grievances blomi long. Highlighting more needs belong all mama blomilo Bougainville na walkabout belong Bougainville na PNG into the future. And me hope how he can harim na Yumi can put him some strong policy in a program belong all tupla families on both sides of our beautiful country. Thank you, Assistant Speaker.
Thank you, Leader of Government Business. Honorable members, I now interrupt the debate, and the question is, the grievances be noted. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. Leader of Government Business.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. Assistant Speaker, I ask leave of Parliament to move a motion without notice.
Is leave granted? Aye. Leader of Government Business.
Assistant Speaker, I move that the leave of absence be granted to Mr. Theo Pelgin for the duration of the meeting due to ill health.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. Leader of Government Business.
Assistant Speaker, I move that Parliament do now adjourn until Tuesday, 17th March 2026 at 10 o'clock a.m.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. Honorable members, I adjourn Parliament to Tuesday, 17 March, 10 o'clock in the morning.